everybody. It's your girl Angie. I'm back with Ebby. It's Wednesday night, and we're here to talk about Netflix miniseries Adolescence. It was a quick, cute little miniseries, 4 episodes. I kind of wanted more. I wanted more details, more. I don't know. I felt like it hit the surface, and I wanted to get deeper. And like I told Ebby before we started, some of it might have went over my head, and she'll fill me in. But overall, how did you enjoy it?
Uh, I enjoyed it. I sat and watched it, and it wasn't my purpose to watch it all at one go. But once it started, I was stuck. It's disturbing. It's sad. I'm glad my son is 30 and not 13, 14, because the stuff the kids is dealing with today is
It's a lot.
it's a lot. It's a lot. And I got stuck on one fact. As a black mama, how this show never would have happened in my real life. Just one fact, it would have dissipated this whole situation.
Oh, and we're gonna get from that in the beginning, especially as a black mother in 2025. This
2025, when I was a black mom, when 20 years ago, my son is 30. Jesus Christ.
it could have happened back in the day because we ain't had videos on our front door and them charms to let us
I'm,
know.
I'm sorry. That just I got triggered. I got taken aback. That nigga is 30. 30. He's 30. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna get my life together. I am. Um, so
We already gonna call out why it wouldn't happen in our house.
this is why this would not happen in our house. My children, all three of them that are still on this side of heaven, weren't allowed to cross the street without me knowing where they are any time of the day or night. I still employed the rule: if the street lights catch you outside, that's a motherfucking problem. My
Yep.
children had a curfew. They needed to be in the house by a certain time. So they would never come to my house be like, well, where was your son, your 13-year-old son, at
And
10:30
at
last
night.
night? In the
Mhm.
bed asleep where he supposed to be? What you
Right.
mean? Cause why is your 13-year-old son outside and you don't, by himself
You're not
unsupervised?
worried about them. Why are all these 13-year-olds hanging out outside at 9:30, 10:30 at night?
I wish the fuck. Even with my grandchildren, I got a phone call today from my kids' school because my daughter was late picking them up because she works at a daycare and they were out of ratio and she couldn't leave until enough kids left for her not to leave her coworker out of ratio. So she
Mhm.
was late picking up the kids. So the school called me because she can't have her phone while she's at the day while she's working. So the school called me, talk about Savannah and Sahara are still here. I tried calling their mom and dad. Nobody's answering the phone. I said, no, nowhere. You ain't never got to worry about this. You just hold your horses. Because I was finna get me an Uber. If I got the Uber myself down to that school to go get them kids and bring them back. I was on the phone about to call my mama, see if my mama was closer to the school because I'm way across town. I'm
Mhm.
way across Charlotte. I'm a good 30, 45 minutes, especially in traffic, away from their daycare. I'm not their daycare, from their school. But by the time I could start getting myself together, I called my daughter and she picked up the phone. She's like, I'm around the corner. This is what happened. I was like, okay. And so I immediately called the school back and be like, she'll be there in a few minutes. We don't play them type of games. We don't leave our babies abandoned. We don't leave them unsupervised. We don't do none of that.
It sounded like the little boy never came back in the house because it sounded like him and his friends were out and he never came back home. And is that normal? Because even the 10 o'clock news start off with it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your
You know where
children
your
are?
kids are.
And that should have said something. Oh, wait, I don't know where they ass is at. Let me go find him.
First of all, let me think. I don't know if mom had a job or not. I don't know if she was stay at home mom or what.
It didn't say. I don't believe.
So you cook dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say about 5, 6 o'clock in the evening after school. I even give you 7 or 8 because your kids are teenagers, so they go to bed later, so you can fix dinner a little later. You ain't see your son. You didn't feed him. Why was he like? Why don't
Because
you
they
know
never
what your?
addressed it.
I don't like. I
And
don't
the
get.
snut.
I don't. This whole story. That's the thing that took me down. Why is your 13-year-old
Why was
just
he
out
out
and about
at 10:30?
at 10:30
It's a
at
lot of
night?
things that took me out, but let's go through it at the beginning. So at the
Okay.
beginning, the police are busting in a house and everybody get on the ground. It's your son. We'll explain it in a minute, but he is suspect for murder and we got to snatch him up. The little boy peed himself and everything. And until they showed the video, he was deny. What's the name of that song? I Ain't Do It by Shaggy. It wasn't
It
me.
wasn't me.
It wasn't me. Until they pulled that video out, that little boy was like, it wasn't me. And in the minute, I didn't think it was him for a minute.
I didn't think it was him for a minute either. And the way he acted when they came in with him being so scared that he peed on himself and he's crying this whole time and all of this stuff that they went through until they pulled that, I was like, there's no way. Maybe it's somebody who looked like him or
Mm-hmm.
something. you know, how did they know it was him? I like when they came in to get him, wasn't nothing on his clothes or anything. And
Nope.
then it clicked to me that, oh, because the daddy said, why are y'all going through our dirty clothes? That doesn't, you're not going to find anything. What are you doing? That would have been me. I'm like, why are you in my hamper? What is happening? But all of that, all of it, even the daddy had a conversation with him. And he was like, I'm on your side. I'm always on your side. It doesn't matter what your answer is. Did you do this? And he lied to his daddy's face and said, "No, I didn't." I felt bad for that poor daddy.
Well, look, he did what you're supposed to do. You supposed to lie until they show you the proof. Because you in the police station and anything you admit, you better believe it's a camera or a microphone in there and listening to you admit to your daddy you committed a crime. So he did what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to lie in the police station.
But with his daddy, when he was in the office with just his dad, even if they were recording, his dad was like his representative. So whatever information is between him and the daddy is like him talking to his lawyer. They can't use that. That's not how that works.
That legal, it works. I thought the lawyer, I ain't know about the daddy.
Yeah, because his daddy is his legal guardian who's supposed to look out for his best interest. So the conversations between him and the daddy, and the dad and him and the lawyer, they're all confidential and covered under that same umbrella. They can't use. He would have to have said it in front of the police, not
Nope.
because they was recording in that room.
Well, you still don't, just in case, because we don't know the loopholes. You lie. But anyway,
My God, as much as I'm a mama's boy, if my son committed murder, you gonna have to do the time, beloved. I can't.
I'm not doing the time for you. No.
I absolutely will not do the time for you.
Mm,
But mama, we keep your books healthy.
I will.
You could call me on your little iPad from the jail. We can have conversations whenever you feel the need. I will make sure that
Mm.
you're okay until your parole come up or whatever it is that we doing on that other note. But baby, you gonna have this. There's no. We seen the videotape and you can still talk about you didn't do it. No, you throw yourself on the mercy of the court at this
Nah,
juncture because they
we
have a videotape of you doing the crime, sir.
my face was fuzzy. You don't know if that was really me. Mm-mm.
No, they know that's you. Once
They
they
knew
get
it
the
was
blood
there
off them shoes,
because they
once they
went
get the
right
blood
for
off
his.
them Air Maxes that you refuse to leave behind.
Now that was something that they, unless I missed it, because I do be scrolling and watching. I never saw them find the bloody clothes. We know they never found the murder weapon. Did they
No,
find
but
the
they
bloody
did.
sheet?
they got the shoes because he had the shoes by his bed
Oh,
when they came in to get him. Well, yeah, when they came in to get him, they asked him, "Are these your shoes?" When they came in the house, and he was like, "Yes." And they put them shoes in the bag. They got them shoes.
they got the
Because that's
shoes.
the only thing. That's the only thing. That's why they was looking through the dirty clothes and everything else. Because they was looking for the bloody clothes, but they found them shoes. He discarded everything except them shoes. I guess he thought maybe if he washed them good enough, then they would be okay. But I don't think.
Right. Lemon kush pepper with me. It
Talk
wasn't
about
me.
la la la.
It was
Listen,
not me. I don't know
listen.
what's
The
on that
people
character.
got you. The people got you dead to rights. Listen, because there's clearly you need to go sit on somebody's sofa and talk to somebody if you're so triggered
But
that
let's
you.
get to it. We got to get to it. Let's build up to the triggers. So,
Mhm.
the police set the evidence out between, because it was a whole bunch of back and forth of the police station that really ain't mean nothing. The lawyer finally there. The dad is there. It's time for interrogation.
Okay.
So
So
they
first of
start.
all, I would like to say I was upset when, as the daddy was upset that I had to stand there and watch them have my
Oh,
son
oh
undress
yeah.
and take the pictures and talk about lift up your. Oh, that's too much. I can't. I
I
would
just
have to be there, but I would have to disassociate because that's a lot. That's a lot. Talk about take
that's
your
a lot.
pants and then pull up your stuff and let us take a picture of underneath your scrotum and all that other stuff. That's too much. And then the baby is scared of needles. And so he was like, look at me, look at me. It's too much. That I would have been emotionally distraught right there. That would took me there. I'd have been like, okay, I don't
You didn't
know.
have to pick it up with them needles because you wasn't scared of that knife. So,
Oh, but one ain't got nothing to do. That's not how fear works. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. That's not how that works. But okay. But
well, they did. They went through the pictures, the undressing and the checks that you do when you go to prison or jail or whatever.
I would like
And
to
then
say shout out to the police, even though this was a little white baby, and I feel like that was 70% of why they treated him this way. I appreciate the amount of care
hmm
they gave to him
yes,
and all of that, and not trying to traumatize him too much more than what he clearly he already something's already wrong. So
because if
let's
it
not
was, they would
traumatize.
have
Let's
treated
not
that
traumatize and trigger this child anymore than
hmm
what he already got going on. I appreciated the care
They
and how
definitely
they
use
spoke
kids
to him.
gloves. Yes,
Hmm.
they definitely use kids gloves.
Yes.
So they went through all that. It's time for interrogation. They started off with Instagram post. Him and this. Well, first they knew his two friends. I don't forgot their names: a little white boy and a little black boy. I think
Right.
Thomas and Kevin, maybe. I
I
say
don't.
close. So they start with the friends. These your two friends.
Hmm.
Cool. Then they showed the little white girl. Is this your friend? Your girlfriend? Y'all had sex? Kissed? You like each other? He said no. We just know each other.
First of all, I know it happens, so please don't call me naive. But it would just never enter my little brain that my 13-year-old is out here. First of all, it wouldn't happen with my 13-year-old. You know why? Because I'm an active parent and my 13-year-old is not outside. My son was 18 before because my kids, because I was a single mom, even though I was married. That's a whole different discussion. My children after the school bus dropped them off at the daycare where my mom and my cousin worked that
Mhm.
they ran. So it wasn't no my kids are latchkey kid because I was a latchkey kid. There wasn't no kid where you had a key, y'all just go in the house and close the door and stay in there and don't answer the door until I get back. Wasn't none of that. No, you stay at the daycare till I get off work and then I'll come pick you up. That's what it was. If I was working too late, then you would stay until the daycare closed and then you go to your grandmama's house until I get off of work and then I'm gonna come and get you. What no, you just free time, you just roaming the city and don't nobody know where you are and you just doing whatever you gonna do and all of that. What none of that over down to the Cosby residence. What none of that happening. Watch your sisters, young man. Make sure your sisters are good. Y'all all riding. Well, the two was riding the bus, and then baby girl was too far behind them, but because she was at a different school. But y'all make sure that y'all watching each other. Y'all got each other's back. Y'all cover each other. But no, up until they were seniors in high school, they got dropped off at the daycare. Like that was their first job. So when they got old enough, they started working at the daycare when they got off of school, and they started getting paid for being there. And then I ain't never heard a complaint about them going because they got paid. But there was no you 13 and you just out here on your own like you an adult. Like I don't. Hey, pretty girl, I said it. I don't get that mind frame. Like anything can happen. Like you as a parent don't have no concern or wherewithal that you just allow your children to just roam free with no parental nothing at just out there. No, he ain't got nowhere to be. He don't have nothing to do to keep him busy. He like so he out. You think your 13-year-old is out here popping his penis on the corner for lollipops?
I don't know. Like I wasn't that strict. My son did have a key, and he did. I think once he started middle school, he came home by himself, and somebody got off work. But that was only like an hour in the house by yourself.
Oh yeah, no. My kids' school got at like 2:15 in the afternoon, and I didn't get off of work till like 6, 7, sometimes 8 o'clock at night. Absolutely, absolutely not.
Yeah, because they would have been partying with that time. Because that's what I was doing. But anyway,
well, I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up sheltered like that. Like until I was like 15 and 16 when my parents divorced, and then my mother became a single mom, and it was just me and her in the house until she met my stepdad and got married. Like I had to grow up real fast and become an adult. I set my own curfew. I used to leave my mom notes because my best friend's house was cat corner down the street. If I'm not home, I'm at her house. And I had a pager. If you need me, page me. I'll call you or I'm coming right home. One of the two. And I'll leave a note. Mommy, I'm at Tracy's house. I'll be there until such and such time. Love, Abby, just in case she came home before I got back. And I was at my friend's house, kikiing and playing Super Mario.
What was your curfew that you set for yourself?
8. To be home on a school night? And I'm 15? Absolutely. You're not trying to get my head, because the elder crazy. You trying to get my head knocked in between the refrigerator and the wall? No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I had my head in between it a couple of times.
And even setting my own curfew, none of that stopped me from getting pregnant at 16.
Because you ain't got to be out all night to spread them.
Let them know. Because I was 15 and my boyfriend was 21. My very first boyfriend, he was 20. And my son's father, 21. I was 15. So I think I have that simmering in the back of my mind when it came to my kids. And I was like, oh. You were a little bit extra strict.
Well, this is a TV show, but some people don't care that their kids be out there.
Some people don't care. Because in my old neighborhood on Winthrop Terrace, we used to have friends. They used to have little house parties, and I lived down the street and around the corner. And I've known them people since we was in kindergarten. We was in junior high school. I wasn't, because my parents weren't going to allow. My parents weren't going to allow that. I was always at church. So, because my father's a pastor and my mama's the first lady. I'm in the streets all night. There wasn't none of that. Not the kids is running free. Oh,
and they were young. They were young kids. Because I don't understand. We're not going to blame the victim. We're not going to blame the victim. But
We're
as a
not.
13-year-old girl, I didn't understand why she was out in the streets walking
By herself.
by herself. Where was she going? Where was she coming from? And it's 10:30 at night. Now we're not victim blaming, but that's just a question I would have liked answered.
That's what I would like to know. Why are you out? Where's her parents? And why weren't you watching? Why are you not? Why don't you have any care? I don't know if they had care or not, because I would like to them to do another 4-part series and flip it, and we get her side of what happened.
Because I'm assuming these kids snuck out because the parents seem very loving and caring. So maybe they did have dinner and they put them in the bed and these kids snuck out around 9:30. So I don't know.
Oh, Pretty Glow says, a hit dog is gonna holler about that last statement, and here I go hollering. Let me be very clear. Let me be very clear. I was 16 when I got pregnant the first time. I did not have that baby because I absolutely was not ready. At 18, when I had my first baby, still wasn't ready. But I knew it was my responsibility. I knew that it wasn't my mama's responsibility to take care of my baby. So I was going to school full time. I was working full time. I was a full time mom. I wouldn't ask it out. Listen, my mama helped as much as she could, but my mama worked a full time job. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I work a full time job. There's some things that I can do. Just like I bought the two blind grandbabies. I got them glasses. This when I bought them new spectacles, two pair of eyeglasses a piece. I've got my the other 5 troop. I got their Easter stuff because their mama asked. No problem, I got you. But as to, I work from home and I live on the other side of town from the troop. And then Junie Boop goes to school every day and he's got 2 full-time parents. Everybody's grandparent situation is different. And grandparents today are still, we can't retire.
Mm-hmm.
We can't retire. We can't afford to. Otherwise, we'll be homeless. And then how we gonna watch the kids if we ain't got nowhere to have the kids at?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same as when I was growing up and my parents would drop us at my grandmama's house for the summer because my grandmother was retired and she ran a daycare, kindergarten out of the back of her house. So there were kids every day at her house anyway. So she kept us every summer. It's not the same. My
Not the
mama
same.
just told me was Sunday evening. She was like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
we going to Hawaii for 16 days. We leaving on April the 4th." Excuse me? What you mean, her and my stepdad? They just bought a house. They ain't even finished unpacking the boxes from the house they just bought. And they finna go to Hawaii for 2 weeks. So, grandparents the grandparent situation today is not the same as it was back when we were little kids. Because our parents are still working. They still have to provide for themselves. It's not like they can retire and just be out leisurely and they got all day just to do nothing. And if they need to get the kids for you, they can do that. If they need to watch the kids or whatever you need them to do to be the support group, it's not the same anymore. And I feel like there's like when I had my baby, because of course I was very young, I was 18. I also had counterparts who had babies at that age. And they was like, "Oh, Abby, come hang out with us," and blase bloom. Oh, you talking about the ones that I don't know no grandparents who don't work. I'm sorry.
Me neither.
Because my mama's 70 something and she's still working. My stepdad's getting ready to turn 70. My stepdad works from home, but my mom is the director of a daycare and she's in the process of getting her license to start taking in clients as a therapist. So she has multiple streams of income coming into her house still to this day. Plus they got the Social Security. Barely. So I don't know whose grandparents have made it to the point where they can retire and live comfortably and not work. What is happening? Listen, the elder is texting me right now. I know she can hear me talking about her.
Mm-hmm. She probably
I
said,
need a truck in the morning for 4 hours picking. Oh my God. I'm sorry. The elder thinks I'm her personal secretary, and I am. I like it's a societal issue. I blame Orange Mussolini for the fact that we can't retire like we used to. Like I feel like I'm gonna be my mama's age and still working because I still won't have enough to be able to,
well, we
retire.
hope not to be, but a lot of people are working, unfortunately, until they
Until they
just can't work
die.
anymore, right? Or they
Until
just
they
can't work anymore because people aren't saving for retirement like they used to back in the day, and the cost of living is so high, people
so
can't
high.
afford to live off of the retirement.
Mm-mm.
People don't have pensions like back in the day. Like I'm thankful and I'm fingers crossed I could remain a government worker, but most corporations and things like that don't even have pensions. Like if you don't put in your 401k, that's it.
Right. And I put the max to match whatever they gonna do. Sure do.
Hmm. But we done started talking about all kind of shit. We ain't even got to the little girl and what you call her red pill theory. Now explain what the little, because that went over my head. What the little girl was bullying the boy for.
Okay, so the red pill community, it's a community of men. It's like the He Man Woman Haters Club. All the issues are the women's fault. The women don't want, they say 80% of women is only attracted to 20% of the men in the population. So the other 80%, which is, I don't believe that to be a true status. So,
80% of women only are attracted to 20% of the men.
mhm.
Okay.
And so they are involuntarily celibate. That's where the word incel comes from.
I'm confused.
Okay.
They are involuntarily celibate, so they're not celibate.
So they're celibate because they feel like they can't get a woman. So it's
Um,
not on purpose, it's
okay.
involuntary.
Now we know that's a lie, but okay. Because 80% of men ain't no involuntary celibate. Okay, but let's keep going.
Yes. And so I listen to a lot of the red pill because I be looking at these men like, what are you talking about? These are the very misogynistic. They talk about don't marry single mothers. Um, they real big on a woman's body count. However, it's a dichotomy and a hypocrisy because then the same men are talking about don't marry
Mhm.
single mothers. Once she turns 40, she hits the wall and is no good. Uh, if she has a high body count, she's run through it. And all of these women are recreational. Those are not women that are worthy of
Mary,
of these top tier men. Meanwhile,
please.
on
Okay.
the other side, for men, they're saying sleep with as many women as you can. These women are recreational, blah 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 blah. And it's a hypocrisy because if you don't want the women to have a high body count and you want them to be virginal and not have had no type of life situations where maybe they've had a child, they were in a relationship, they got out of it, they had a kid with they had a husband and they broke up or nothing. Y'all don't want any of that kind of stuff going on. But you want to hit every woman that you can hit. If you don't want us sleeping with nobody, but you are supposed to sleep with everybody, who are you sleeping with?
It sounds like they sleeping with each other.
Now I didn't want to say it.
Because are we talking about the 20% or the 80? And who gets to determine who makes the 20% of attractiveness?
I don't know because you can't be fat. Um,
The
apparently you can't be
men,
black.
the men, right? The men
No, the
can't be
women.
fat.
The women. They talk
I
about the
want
women.
to know what's the criteria for the 20% that's judging. They need not to be fat as well if we can't be fat.
Oh no, none of that applies to men because they're men. And they feel like they're the providers, they're the hunter gatherers, and all of those things. And so all of these rules only apply to the women. So you can't be fed, you can't listen, you can't have kids. Um, they want you to have a low to zero body count. Um, but then they want they want what you get the sheets. They want you to be a freak. But
Right.
then they want to know how you got to be. How did you learn all of this if you ain't got nobody can like it's a bunch of different contradictions that be happening in this community.
It sounds like a bunch of 80%ers made up the rules.
Yes.
And they're making up their own rules.
So we're talking about like that Andrew Tate man who
I don't know him.
Child, you gotta Google him. He says the craziest shit. He finna go to jail. Him and his little raggedy ass brother. He's finna go to jail because they have been arrested for trafficking and they look barnyard pimps. That's all I'm going. Listen, their pimpatry is known worldwide. That nigga was teaching classes on how to seduce women into prostitution. Child, it's a lot. It's a lot. You gotta Google it. And then
well, get back to the bullying part. So he's in the 80%, and she was bullying him for being in the 80%. Is that the gist of it?
Mm-hmm.
They should explain it like that because I didn't understand what the girl was bullying him about or none of that.
Because he wanted to get with her, and she was like, "Ill no, you're an incel."
That's what the incel is. You an 80%er.
Yes.
It make more sense when you call out the numbers. No, you can't get with me. You in the 80%.
I don't even really think he was in the 80%. She just didn't like him. And
aren't they kind of young to be in the percentages?
They are. But I think that was part of the point of this whole story is that this stuff has become so pervasive that it's reaching out and grabbing our kids and pulling them into these adult situations that really ain't got shit. All 13-year-olds are incels if that's the case, because they shouldn't be having sex with nobody at 13.
Right. Shouldn't even be thinking about it. Shouldn't even know what it is.
Right.
Well,
you got better things to do. I know you ain't clean behind that bed and you keep pissing on my toilet. Please.
Now I got a question, a side note.
Okay.
I thought this incel 80% red pill stuff was only in the Black community. I didn't know it spilled over to the non-melanated community.
Oh yeah. They call the manosphere. They the ones who created the red pill situation to begin with. It started with the Mayo sapiens.
Oh, I don't follow the red pills.
And you know, it's never gonna just be a bunch of white people. There's gonna be a sprinkle of niggertree in the white business. Because some Black men they want to be on top so bad. The closer they can get to whiteness, they'll jump right to it. And
so they jump right into that red pill stuff, and they asses ain't really.
And theirs is called the manosphere. Girl, I can send you some videos. It'll make you want to punch the air.
It's gonna make my head hurt. It's gonna make me mad.
It is. I be listen to them incredulous. Like, this cannot be real life. This can't be real life. What you're talking about, sir? There's no way. I'm so happy
I ran across one of these 80%ers in real life.
Yeah, they're weird.
I'm sure there's some out there, but they haven't.
That's why I keep saying there's pee and poop in the dating pool, because
it's full of the 80%ers.
I don't think that's a real number. I feel like they just made that shit up.
Right. I just want to know what's the criteria of
Oh,
attractiveness.
and also all women are gold diggers. That's the other big thing. All the women are gold diggers to these
And
niggas.
all of y'all is
Who-
hoes.
and y'all don't even have no gold to dig. That's what
No,
I don't understand.
not an ounce, not a carat of gold to dig
Do you
for.
have, sir? I make more
If
money in my
anything,
job than you do.
and
What you mean I'm a gold digger? Cause I expect you ask me on a date and I expect you to pay for it. You asked me out. Now, if I asked you out on a date, then I expect for me to pay. But you asked me. I was over there minding my business, having my drink, minding my business. And you came over and asked me for my phone number. We had a certain amount of conversation. You asked me on a date. I say yes. We go on the date. And then here you go talk about oh, you going to order an appetizer and a meal? Is there a problem, sir?
yeah.
First of all, my mama taught me very well. I don't ever go on a date with a nigga unless I can cover my meal and whatever I want by myself. Because you're not going to put me in a trick.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna. And I got money for an Uber to get home if you want to get funky with it. Also, if you decide, if you don't have to hang up about paying for the dinner, just because you pay for my dinner doesn't mean I'm giving you my Gucci cat at the end of this situation, sir. I don't even know if I like you. You don't even know me well enough to call me by my first name yet. So what makes you think because you bought me the Applebee's and got me a 2 for $20, I'm finna go downward dog for you after we leave out of here? That's not how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Who raised you? Wait,
At
your mom.
all.
Listen, I can't. I can't. I can't. We listen.
Yet
Okay.
another
So
rabbit hole we done fell down. Yeah.
the police come to interrogate the baby, and he is like, he's answering how his lawyer told him to. He's listening to the instructions
Mm-hmm. No
until
comment.
now the daddy said to him, "Did you do it? You can tell me. I'm always gonna be on your side. It doesn't matter right or wrong. I just need to know the truth. Did you do it?" He said no. We get through the investigation, and then they bring out the laptop with the CCTV video.
He said, "Have you heard of CCTV? You heard of that, ain't you? It's cameras out there." And the daddy
So,
broke down
so
crying.
at the end of
He
we
can't
see
believe
the
it.
video of him
Anyway,
getting into the conversation with the little girl, and he unalives her. The daddy
now they've
is
never in the whole part of the series.
right. There's no question.
In this, they never got to what they were talking about at that moment, like exactly what's said to make him snap. So we don't
know. She probably said brother Bill. That was enough to set that baby off. And he went to slicing and dicing.
And we how he got the friend brought the knife from his house, but how it get in your hands?
Because they was together earlier.
And where is
I
it
don't
now?
know how he got. We never understood how he got the knife. He got the knife from the friend.
It's a lot of
the friend dropped it and he picked it
we
up.
know how. He said, "Let me hold that." Like, and why did the friend bring it from his house? Like, why you even bring the knife from home? Like, I don't know.
It was like a little Swiss Army, like a little fold out blade, like you keep on you. I got a knife like that. I got a knife that I know why I keep mine on me.
I thought they said no, I'm saying I thought they said it was
a kitchen knife. I don't.
Who cares? Let's move back. Oh Lord. Okay, Abby came back.
Not as who cares? Who cares that it's a kitchen knife? Okay.
I'll find a knife, no way. Oh, they're crying. That's the end of episode 1. He finally was like, "Yeah, on eyeballs. I'm me. I ain't gonna believe eyeballs. That wasn't him. I don't know who on this, but you know, we ain't gonna go back down over there." So next episode open with the police, which understand how the police can just question children at random and make announcements in class without their parents giving you permission and also being there? Or is that just a United States thing?
That's why the teacher was there when they had the conversations. That's why the teacher was standing in the back.
But that's not a parent. I wish a
It's
police
not,
officer
but
would interrogate my child at school if there was a teacher there.
well, they weren't really
I
interrogating
thought
him because they already arrested the person and they know what happened. So they just trying to fill in the blank. They were just trying to figure out why it happened. They weren't trying to like put charges on nobody or anything like that. They just trying to gather more information so they can try and put piece together why this happened the way they did.
No, we gathering no if I ain't there, but this ain't about me. The black little girl snapped off on the police, talking here, question like, my besides break her curfew and walk up and down the street. Fault that he snapped. So she snapped off on the police, and then she beat up the one boy who knife it was.
Yeah, she just in her feelings, and rightfully so, because her friend is
She's
dead.
emotional.
And clearly she don't have a good, home situation, because she said, where's she gonna go now? Because she would hang out at the little girl's house, and it was like, well, go back to her house. I'm sure her parents would love to see you, and she was like, no, they wouldn't. So apparently she was saying something going on with her mama at her house.
Close attention. Now the little white boy got beat up by the black. I forgot what they never she up, but okay. So he takes off running because he handled by the nurse, but the police said we need to talk to you one more time. He takes ran across town and he gets arrested.
Jumped out the window.
Or put in handcuffs.
He jumped. Let's not. Hey, I'll tell you. Let's not rush over the pack. That little boy jumped out the window.
Yeah, he did.
And
he jumped out of the classroom window.
And went on the slowest foot chase I've ever seen in my entire life.
Right. I could have kept
just
up with that.
Out you running because it was your knife.
Yeah,
just because it was your knife doesn't mean you was gonna
No, this is where I paused again because I was like, little boys could look alike on camera.
I thought that for a second too. I did.
I said maybe it was him that did it.
Unfortunately, no.
I don't know. Obviously it wasn't. From there, I forgot where it went from there because the next thing I remember is the interview with this psychiatrist.
That was pretty much the end of that episode. The dad talks to his son and schooled him on what it really was. So, because the daddy didn't know nothing. God bless him. The daddy ain't know nothing.
Now, when we get to talking to the psychiatrist, I started to think, well, is the little boy a sociopath? He was acting really weird. I could him locked up in a juvenile mental institution because they didn't have space for him in jail. And I think him being with the people who he needed the milk, and he was deemed.
He should have been deemed mentally unfit because he was mentally.
That's at 13. Get to that level where you kill somebody just because they don't want to. But no, they did say them kids hitting on them. That's automatic fighting and pushing them down at school. So they were being heavily bullied at school as well. So that was, I don't want to say a good thing, but it's a topic that we really need to continue to discuss because we don't know what bullying does to people's psyche that makes them snap like this to the rage of they want to kill people for you leave them alone. Though it did seem like he followed her. So I don't know. Did they say she was bullying him as well?
Which one?
The girl that died.
Yeah, she was the ringleader of the bullying. That's what the son was telling the cop daddy at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the one. She was the
What
one
would
putting
he want
it.
to do her?
Huh? Say it again.
Would he want to date her if she's the real?
Because he felt she was vulnerable because her titty pictures had got she liked this other boy and
Oh
sent him
yeah,
pictures of her chest, and so the other boy decided he wanted to share it
mm.
around, and so she was so humiliated, and he knew that he kind of liked her, and so he felt like, oh, she's not so high and mighty now that her titty pictures is out in the world, and maybe she feels humiliated enough that, oh, she'll think nobody will want her, so she'll want to give me a chance because I like her, despite the fact that her titties is out on the internet. And I'm pretty sure she was
I
like, bro,
remember that.
even if my titties are, even if my titties are on the internet, it's still not gonna be you, sir. Boom. And so it did not matter to her. And so
That's
I'm
probably what
assuming
was said. That's probably what was said that made him nap.
it made him snap out. And how dare you reject me
Probably
when when at this point you are in this, you should be
right.
grateful that
You in this
I
place out there, yeah. Even say hi to you.
right.
And
And she
her
wasn't
titties get on
grateful.
somebody's phone at 13.
She
Parents
she
not
sent them
going
to
through
the boy
cell
she liked.
phones,
Once again, once
but we
again,
aren't going through cell phones.
we aren't going through cell phones. There
We
aren't
aren't
child
mirroring.
protection and stuff where you can monitor your kids. Like there's all these stops and things you can put in place, like Life 360 and all those other things that you could put on your kid's phone that they can't undo, so that you can monitor your children and what they got going on. So I that's it. This feels like the same category as your 13-year-old is outside at 10 o'clock at night, and you don't know and or care that they just out
ten
roaming the
thirty,
streets at 10 o'clock at night.
and you don't know what time they came in because everybody in the house was asleep when the police came a knocking. So you didn't
Yeah,
even
because
know
it
the
was
house.
5 in the morning.
So you don't even know what time he came home.
Exactly.
Okay, so the interview with the psychiatrist displayed his rage, and he learned that he got his rage from his father because she asked a lot of questions about the father and the things that would enrage the father. And we'll see some of the dad's rage in the final episode, but
Child, that final
explained
episode was
about
great.
his father. What?
I said that last episode was crazy
Well,
too.
let's go ahead. You got anything else to say about him and the psychiatrist and him getting his rage as daddy?
Um, no, because it was a lot and it was scary how fast he flipped from rage to being manipulative to trying to be nice to
Yeah.
her. Like that little boy, it's something really wrong with that little boy. It's something really, really
I was
wrong
thinking
because
sociopath. I'm like, he was manipulating the hell out that lady, and then he like, "Ooh,
mhm,
but I still got you." And then he'll be nice and he'll cry talking about his sandwich. And I'm like, I agree. That little boy was acting his ass off in that scene.
yes, he did. Yes, he did. And I found out that the third episode was his first day on the job. He's never acted before. This was his first
Well,
acting job. And the first thing they did was that episode with the psychiatrist. That little boy is a born actor.
psychiatrists, how they, yeah, he's gonna do some good projects because that's all
Right. And it's
kicking them chairs.
all one shot. They didn't stop. They filmed it all. They didn't stop. They didn't take a break. No, nothing. You had to know all of your stuff because they weren't going to cut and let you reset and do it again. You had to do it from start to finish. And they did it twice. And then they picked the best one between the two ones. But each episode was one full shot. They never stopped recording. It's just the camera just continued to follow them the whole however long the episode was. They did it twice. They did each episode twice. And then they picked the best one I take out of each episode. But it's one long shot. It's no yeah. For all of the episodes, like they did for the dad at the last, like, oh my God. Like the acting in this is magnificent.
Good acting where you can mess up. This was some really good acting. I will give it. The last episode, I'm just gonna say it like this: the last episode was pretty much trailing the family and how the family is doing. I guess 5 weeks after knowing their son is in jail as a murder suspect.
Oh no, it's 13 months later.
And I felt like they were
over a year later.
Oh, I thought it was.
It's 13 months. It's 13 months later.
I had my old. I did 5 weeks. Okay.
I think that's what triggered the dad.
Does it make sense?
Because it's 13 months later, and they still dealing with the consequences, and people are still like graffiti in his car and stuff like that. And it's this man's birthday. He can't even enjoy his birthday because of all of this shit going on. And
froze Edmund.
And apparently the word that they graffitied on the car is
I had to Google the word.
It's for pedo.
It's yes, for adults. So they're making ad for the son's crime, but it wasn't even the son's crime. The son was on trial for murder. I don't know what that had the children of it all. But weeks, so I thought it was weird after 5 having this news that you were rating. So if it's been over a year, I can get back to normal life. Okay. So now makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So it's a year later. This birthday, dog's getting ready. It's getting ready. She's in school, and they're just, like you said, getting back to life. One thing I noticed was that nosy ass neighbor. That lady was out there watching everything, but didn't know. She saw everything, but didn't see a damn thing. So what set it off is someone put what?
I said, riddle me that, Batman. You see everything, but you ain't seen nothing. Ma'am, please.
And all at the same time. At the same time. And then had the nerve to be asking questions and talking shit as well.
Because that's what
I'm surprised that neighbor didn't get popped. The mama should have popped. But anyway,
what happened? Oh Lord, we lost her. Jesus, she'll be back in a minute. So the parents, it's daddy's birthday. And so the parents are trying to get back to normal. He come outside to see his car has been graffitied on, and he micro focuses on there you are. Oh, she's still frozen. Is she back?
Am I me?
I can see you in your background. Can you move it slow? I can hear you.
My Wi-Fi is on that very last %, so something must be going on outside.
Oh, Jesus. Ain't it always something going on? Okay, so it's the daddy's birthday. He go outside. His truck is vandalized. He just want to have a good day. And it feels like it is a comedy of errors. Like at every step for him to try and resolve the issue and get back on track to celebrate his birthday, something else go wrong. Them people can't even go to the store without the people side-eyeing them. And it's not like they did anything. but they got to suffer the
Nope.
sins of the son, of what the son did. Because we all looking at you like how would, and I'm with the parents like they question it too. How did they parent the daughter, and the daughter is fine, and they parented the son in the same way, and this is the result of what happened with the son, and where did we go wrong, and what did we do wrong, and how did we get this hard left turn with this child, but our daughter is fine. Ooh, y'all, I want some Burger King. That came out of nowhere.
Well, all kids are different.
They are, and you have to parent them differently. But I still don't understand. You didn't seem to be very active in your child's life. If he's outside at 10 o'clock at night and you don't know where he is, and you not
We'll never get
concerned,
over that. We never gonna get over
I'm stuck right there.
that.
My son was 18 before he was allowed to cross the street without my permission. What do you even mean? I don't understand. Like, I don't get
We're
it.
never gonna understand that.
I wish the fuck I was.
But it was like, did you never see this son before that you never? Because the dad went of guilt of I passed stage on to, like, I think the dad kind of figured out I passed on, because the dad whooped this one little teenager's ass. Well, he should have whooped his ass because he found out who spray painted the car at the Home Depot over there in Europe, and I forget the name of what they call it. And he chased down little boy, threw his bicycle across the field, and didn't punch him, but he threatened to punch him. And
because why
I
are
too
you
agree.
You know,
He's vandalizing my car.
I can call him. Listen, I'd have ran you down and called the cops. Come get him. Because you're not gonna learn. You're not gonna learn. Okay.
So he almost beat up the teenager who ruined his day. The little boy calls. I forgot whatever his name was. And he says, "I'm just gonna take a guilty plea." You know, he told him happy birthday, and I'm just gonna plead guilty. I don't like this. You see me on the camera. I did. I think, and then the family just all broke down in tears, which would have broke me down too. How much time you think he'll get as a 13-year-old for murder? It wasn't premeditated.
It wasn't premeditated. I think that if they not charging him as an adult, then they'll give him the max. He'll be there till he's 18. It depends on if they find him mentally competent. He might be in a mental institution for the rest of his life if they don't think his mind is right. Because they could be like, we find you mentally unstable and unable to stand trial, and you got to go to the mental hospital until we deem you all right.
Yeah, but I think found him competent. I think she found him competent. I could see him doing those 18 or maybe 21. At 18, you go do another.
Well, I feel like they might do. Right. If they charge him as a minor, then he's in there until he's 18, and then they'll seal his record. And I guess he'll get out and go on to try and reassociate into society, which at this point, Or
that's why he's taking a plea. Maybe they offering him a deal. Like, you take and you do it juvenile and you done when you're 18. They needed to close the story more, because I'm used to police dramas where we're getting the clues, the theories, and a conclusion. This is the motive. This is why they did this. And I feel like it was just an overview of the lives, like people's lives, but we don't really police in case this is just affect the child. This is how it affect the parents. This is how it affect the students. You know, vibe I got from the series, where I kind of wanted to of the why
Yeah,
and the
I would
conclusion of it.
definitely like to see the flip side, like them do turn it part two, and we doing the flip side of it, and we getting baby girl's story. Like, was she bullying him? Like, what did she say to set that child off to where he was so enraged that he stabbed her 7 times? Like, what could she have possibly have said to that boy to make his brain chemistry just snap, crackle, and pop like that? That he killed her. And not that we're
Right,
trying to
and
victim
some of
like
those stab wounds were hard because one of them was the skull, then the shoulder. Like those are all the
like into
so you
bones
had
and stuff.
right,
Like
you
I
had
need
a range.
I don't know. I need to understand her family dynamic. Why is your I want to see what's going on with her parents. Are y'all blaming yourselves because you weren't watching your child and you allowed your 13-year-old daughter just roam the streets willy-nilly and now she gone? Like I want to see the flip side of
Yeah,
this
her
story.
parents.
Right, because we got all of this where it's right. We feel sympathy for the little boy, and then we see that clearly something is not right. He actually did it, and that conversation with the psychiatrist letting us know that this little he about to be on you season number 5 because it ain't all together up there. And then to see his parents so broken because it was like and especially the daddy, because he said his daddy used to beat him and he promised that he wouldn't be like that. So he wasn't beating the little boy. He wasn't. So I don't know. He needed to find a better balance between what he got from his daddy and what he did with his son, because clearly he went so far to the left to not be like his daddy. It feels like there wasn't any
A
structure
boundary,
or boundaries or
a
like right
discipline.
like why like you just let your child do anything
Like
you
him
didn't
being
say,
out at
like
10:30,
you don't think
the day
it's like when those parents like
like
I don't say no to my kid. The hell I don't.
right, because remember in the police station when the officer said this happened at 10:30 at night, the dad wasn't even like, my son was in the bed asleep at 10:30. What do you mean? Like it was kind of like,
Damn.
oh well, let's talk about this. So it must be a normal occurrence for these children to go and come as they please.
I don't understand. Can we need somebody from the UK, parents from the UK to come over here and talk to us? Is that normal for y'all children to be outside at 10 o'clock at night? Like what is going on at 10:30? Like I know like some places get 24 hours of daylight. So is it still daylight outside at 10 o'clock where y'all at? Like what is happening?
No.
Because there's no there's no way my 13-year-old would be outside roaming the streets at night with no parental supervision. It's just not going to happen.
And not
And
like
I
just
can
up
feel
the
that
block. They were
confidence because
in
all
the
of my
street.
kids are grown now. And at 13, no,
They were
absolutely
in the
not.
street, not at the corner, not around the block. They were in the streets.
Exactly.
In a parking lot somewhere across town. I don't know if it's across town, but in a parking lot. Not in the neighborhood with the houses. So
We should have called this Black Mothers Befuddled Adolescence, because we never got past that part, because we don't like it would never enter our intellect to allow our 13-year-olds to be outside at 10:30 at night. We don't know where they are. They just out there doing whatever they want to do. I'm sorry, excuse me? Absolutely not. Maybe it's this thing, because it's not a this thing. Because we're not going for that. 90% of us are not going. Now there's outliers to everything. But there's absolutely no way. Absolutely no way my 13-year-old will be outside and
15, 17-year-olds, I'd be like, okay, they done snuck out the house, but not 13.
Absolutely not. First of all,
and then the little
18, your curfew is 10 o'clock because you got school in the morning. Like unless you at your job or something that you work late, like after school. No, have your ass in the house. I don't know. Or you're with me doing something, then okay, fine. but not you just out here willy-nilly just doing whatever you think you big and bad enough to do. You are not an adult. I am still
Mm-mm.
responsible for you. If you do something, they're gonna come ask me questions. Absolutely. I wish the hell no.
Right. Now I gotta take off work. Mm-mm. We can't fathom it. So
Listen, we don't
we spent
not all.
80% of the time wondering where the parents was at.
That was my question. I was so confused when
I
that man
was
sir said, "Oh, this happened last night at 10:30." Immediately I was like, "Oh, well then he didn't do it because he's 13. Why would he be outside?"
or at least they on that damn PlayStation or Xbox, one of them.
Right. Playing Call of Duty, cussing people out on the
I
internet.
could hear him from upstairs cussing the people out on the game. So he was upstairs in the house. What you mean at 10:30?
Because what you mean Jamal was outside until I wish I went. Ah, it would never. I hate never say never, but my kids are grown. No, absolutely not. And
Unless you were stuck out.
my kids are more strict with their kids. And I know good and damn well I wouldn't let my children outside at 10:30. You think Junie Boop is gonna be outside at 10:30 at night? And I'm his grandma. Hell no. I don't care if we live in the
You
same.
can't even let your kids be outside alone, period.
Thank you. First of all, you can't let your kids be inside the house by themselves unless they're a certain age. They have to be at least 11. They got to be at least 11, 12. CPS will come and get your kids.
They will.
So what you mean your 13-year-old is outside at 10:30 at night with no supervision and you don't know what he child.
We ain't gonna never do that.
I don't like nobody
It
is
wasn't
questioning.
just one kid. It was 4 kids because you got the 3 boys hanging out at 9:30. And then
And
the
little
little girl
girl is outside and he run up on her at 10. So why are all these children outside this time of night? I don't like and nobody that question, that's what befuddled me. In all the reviews I've seen, all of the reactions to the show that I've watched, ain't nobody said, why is this 13-year-old outside at 10:30 at night?
That was the first thing I said.
That's the first thing. I was befuddled and confused. What do you mean? He's out 10:30 at night. Absolutely not. His bedtime is 10. What, he got school in the morning? What you mean?
What you mean? I just seen this little boy in the bed sleep. What you mean he was outside at 10:30?
You talk about this same little boy who don't know how to wipe his butt good still? And you talk about he outside at 10:30? I wish. No, ma'am. I'm still cleaning his little doogie drawers.
What are y'all doing outside at 10:30 if you ain't here doing some drugs? What are you even doing out there?
It's this the same little nigga that I have to say you smell like outside, go take a shower and put some deodorant on. That boy? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I wish.
You see that little black 10:30 guaranteed.
No, listen. That little black boy is in his bed scrolling on TikTok at 10:30. He done took his shower.
That little black was 2 black boys.
It was 2. It was the cop's son and then the other little friend. The other little friend who was telling the one who knife it was, calm down, you ain't do nothing, so you can just chill out. And the little white boy still ran.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, they has did something.
But, I don't know. I need black boys. I need to see the other side of the story. Shout out to the daddy, because the daddy is the one who is the executive producer. He's the one that created the whole thing and came up with the story and all of that stuff. And it's based on, I think it's based on a true event that happened in UK, but it happened to be the little boy who did the crime was black. They race swapped him in the show.
probably for the best, because like you said,
That's
they
what I
wouldn't have
think.
been nice to no little black boy.
Because this is very
This would have been a whole.
this treats very much as a crime. This, but I just, especially with the red pill and
This
the
would have been a
incel,
whole different.
because we would have really been outraged if it had been a black boy in this show and he's the one that did it, and they talk about he was outside at 10:30 at night. Excuse the, no, he wasn't, and I'll die on that hill. No, he wasn't. Ain't no way in the world. Where his parents? Where his mama at? Damn his
Oh,
daddy. Where his mama at? Because ain't no way. Ain't no way.
right.
Yeah.
Her
If you
son.
haven't seen it on Netflix, please go watch it. It is extraordinary. It is extraordinary
Watch.
TV. It is well shot.
It's 4
It is well
episodes.
acted. That little boy needs a Emmy. He needs an award for what he did
Yes, but
because he acted his
there was
tail
good
off.
actors here.
Yeah, for this to be your first acting job, and this is how you come into it, like the big emotions you had to manage in order to get through that episode 3. Listen, that young man deserves an award for what he did, and so does the daddy, because the daddy had me in my feelings, especially at the end when he went into that child's room, talk about what did I do wrong, and you holding the baby's teddy bear and you distraught and upset and crying. Listen.
He has the room of an 8-year-old, and you're telling me that that's the child that's out at 10:30, and it seems like ain't never back home. He felt like it.
That's what I said. It's clearly a child's room because that's a child. Like, I feel like this is what happened this is how the parents feel when your child goes and tear up the school and go pew the school up, and then you trying to figure, like, not like that one parent who was like buying their kids guns to do whatever, but the parents who generally did not see this coming and it came out of nowhere, and next thing you know, your child done pew the school and killed a whole bunch of people. Now you got to figure out what the, like, I don't even know how you could even process the guilt, the grief of all of that. And now you re-examining everything that you did as a parent in that child's life to see where the left turn happened and how you missed it. That's
happening. How did we not see it?
How did we even get here? Because you allowed your child outside at 10:30. Like, I'm just listen. Because if you were
out at 10:30,
if you was parenting, his ass wouldn't have been outside at 10:30 at night.
Well, he wouldn't have been looking at titties on his phone neither, and it would have been a lot of stuff not happening because we watching phones and we watching the front door.
Show is.
So it's a lot of stuff that wouldn't have been happening. But that's it. Y'all go watch it. Me and Abby will be back next week. I don't think it's quite the 13th. We got to talk about something. We'll figure it out. Thing at the front of your mind?
Look for me sometime on Friday for Chasing Dallas, and sometime on Saturday. No, okay. So tomorrow, Friday night, unfortunately, we doing Never Ever Met's right after the show goes off. Look for me in the distance there for Never Ever Met. She at 8:30 her time, so 9:30 my time. Girl.
This weekend.
We gonna see. I heard it's a bunch of mess, so we gonna see what happens. The last time that lady thought she was gonna be able to check me, and she was not. So I don't know what's gonna happen this time. Then Saturday at some time, me and the straight man is gonna do Chasing Dallas. I have to talk to him because even if we don't do it till like Sunday or Monday, I'll do a pre-recorded review of Chasing Dallas. Because it premieres tomorrow night at 8:30. I can't remember. And then we wait until April the 13th until The Last of Us. We on break. Now she done froze up again, Jesus. Until April the 13th. Is you unfrozen?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, you
Okay,
back. You look clear.
something
Okay,
going
cool.
on.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I don't know what's going on. We're gonna hurry up and end it for it freeze again. Cause something going on where like my Wi-Fi is on that last little bar. And it's not about the
oh,
storm or anything. So I don't know. I don't know.
y'all pray for my tooth
It's sweet.
because it's hanging on by the prayers of the righteous. And I need to get it
We
removed.
pray for
It's
your
way
too.
it's one of
Uh,
those ones way back here. So I feel like I'm holding my mouth
oh,
funny. My sister was talking to me like, "Did you have a stroke?" No, stupid. My jaw hurts. You make me sick. Because my sister is in school to be a nurse. It's she be
uh,
practicing on me all the time. Let me see. Did you have a stroke? Did she ask me crazy questions? No, girl. Tooth
well,
just hurt.
what was that? I'm about to get off of here, Abby.
Okay.
My Wi-Fi is slow, and my party favors have kicked in.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's time to go.
It's time to go, but we'll be back next Wednesday. We'll let you know for what. And I'm out of town this weekend, so any shows that come on over the weekend, I will catch them up on Monday. And with that being said, we'll holler at you later. Bye.
Keep your 13-year-old kids in the house.
And,
Amen.
and put the turn the damn 360 on.